The moment stretched into eternity as the Spartan Predator and Medusa faced each other in the shadow-filled heart of the ancient temple. The flickering light from cracks in the stone illuminated Medusa's coiled form, her serpentine hair writhing and hissing, each snake poised to strike. Her eyes glowed with an unholy light, capable of turning flesh to stone with a single glance. Yet, the Spartan Predator, towering and still, showed no sign of fear. His advanced Yautja mask filtered out the deadly effect of her gaze. But even he understood that this battle was far more than physical. Medusa's ancient curse was magic that not even his advanced technology could fully protect him from. Medusa slithered in a wide circle around him, her movements like those of a stalking predator, calculated, deliberate. The weight of centuries pressed down on the ruined temple, statues of soldiers frozen in terror silently witnessing the impending battle. Their hollow, lifeless eyes reminded the Spartan Predator of the stakes. Each warrior had fallen, their moments of agony frozen forever in stone. But the Yautja was no mortal soldier. His honor demanded that he succeed where others had failed. His instincts screamed danger, but his survival and reputation as a great hunter depended on facing this threat head-on. In a heartbeat, Medusa lunged, her body swift as lightning, surged toward him, her eyes gleaming with deadly intent. But the Spartan Predator was faster. His wrist blades gleamed in the dim light as he leaped backward, narrowly avoiding her strike. Her snakes hissed furiously, biting at his armor with no effect. The Predator's reflexes were unmatched. He countered swiftly, slashing through the air with alien precision. Medusa twisted out of range, narrowly avoiding his strike. With a sudden roar, the Predator's plasma caster charged, the energy building up in its glowing core. He fired, an electric blue bolt shot through the air, crackling with deadly power. Medusa, impossibly quick, twisted her body at the last second. The blast narrowly missed her, exploding into the stone wall behind her, sending shards of debris flying through the air. She retaliated with the force of a tidal wave, whipping her long tail toward him. The sheer force of it slammed into the Predator's side, sending him crashing into the temple's stone floor. The Spartan Predator's ribs ached from the impact, but he refused to fall. He pushed himself up, steadying his breath as his eyes locked on Medusa. The temple's oppressive atmosphere was thick with ancient magic, seeping into his bones. His mask sensors flickered, struggling to decode the otherworldly energy that filled the air. Medusa, sensing weakness, advanced again. This time she aimed directly for his throat, her clawed hand striking with lethal precision. Her glowing eyes sought his, hoping to ensnare him in her deadly curse. But the Spartan Predator's mask remained his saving grace. He never met her gaze directly, instead relying on the augmented display to track her movements. Every shift in her posture, every flick of her hair was calculated by his alien technology, and yet he knew that the magic of this place could not be trusted forever. She lashed out once more, her claw barely missing his neck as the Predator dodged to the side. He retaliated, slashing at her with his wrist blades. The Yautja's steel struck true, slicing across her skin. Medusa let out a screech, a mix of pain and fury. Her serpentine hair snapped wildly in every direction, but the wounds were shallow, far from fatal. She turned on him faster now, driven by rage, her strikes more precise, her eyes burning with the cursed power that had felled so many warriors before. The Spartan Predator could feel the weight of the hunt bearing down on him. He couldn't afford to prolong the fight. Medusa's gaze was too dangerous, and his mask's protection might not last if the temple's magic continued to press against it. With a roar, the Spartan Predator activated his wrist-mounted explosive disc. The weapon whirred to life, its spinning blade crackling with energy. He hurled it with deadly precision. This time, Medusa's reflexes failed her. The disc embedded itself deep into her side, cutting through scales and flesh. She screamed, a sound that echoed through the ancient stone halls, filled with pain and rage. Her body convulsed as the Predator closed in, seizing his chance. His wrist blades extended with a metallic hiss as he leaped forward. Medusa swung wildly with her tail, trying to knock him off course, but the Spartan Predator was relentless. He dodged her frantic attacks, his vision focused on the final blow. In one swift motion, he slashed both blades down, driving them deep into her throat. Medusa's body shuddered, her eyes flaring with one last desperate attempt to freeze him in stone. But the Spartan Predator's mask protected him from her final, dying gaze. Her body convulsed violently as life drained from her, the snakes on her head hissing weakly before falling still. In a swift and brutal motion, the predator withdrew his blades and with a savage swipe, severed her head from her body. The once dreaded creature, the terror of warriors and demigods alike, collapsed lifeless onto the stone floor. Her serpentine body lay in a twisted heap, her head rolling to a stop at the predator's feet. Her snakes, though now limp, still twitched, as if the dark magic within them had not entirely left. The temple fell into a deep, eerie silence. The Spartan Predator stood over his kill, his breaths coming in measured bursts. The victory was his, but caution remained. Even in death, Medusa's head emanated a faint trace of the cursed power that had made her so deadly. The Yautja knelt down, lifting the severed head of the once feared monster. Her eyes, though closed, still radiated a strange, lingering magic. The snakes hung lifeless, their danger diminished, but the Spartan Predator knew better than to take chances. Would he dare remove his mask to look upon his trophy with his own eyes? To claim his victory in the most personal way? The question lingered in his mind, but the Predator knew better than to tempt fate. Even the Yautja had limits, and while he had triumphed over Medusa, her power was too great to take lightly. He placed her head carefully into a containment device, sealing away his ultimate prize, proof of his success in a hunt that even the gods themselves had feared. The Spartan Predator left the ruined temple as the first light of dawn crept over the horizon. The fog that had once shrouded the island began to lift, revealing the decayed remnants of an ancient world. The statues of fallen warriors stood frozen in the courtyard, forever trapped in their final moments of terror. To the Predator, they were no more than markers of a hunt completed, silent witnesses to his victory over one of the most ancient and feared creatures in human history. With Medusa's severed head secured in his containment device, the Spartan Predator made his way back to his ship, his body marked with the signs of battle but his spirit renewed. He had faced down the unknown, not just in the form of a powerful beast, but a curse that transcended time and space. The hunt had been perilous, the odds steeped against him. Yet, as the sun broke over the distant horizon, so too did his sense of redemption. This victory was more than just a trophy, it was a reclamation of his honor, lost long ago when he had been exiled. As his ship ascended into the skies, leaving the cursed island behind, the once feared stronghold of Medusa was nothing more than a distant memory, its dark power extinguished, reduced to ruins. The fog lifted entirely, and what had once been a domain of death and petrification was now just another forgotten relic in the vast tapestry of the ancient world. In the stillness of his trophy room, among the skulls of countless predators and prey alike, each one a testament to his prowess, Medusa's head now held a place of honor. The cursed eyes that had turned armies to stone were closed, her serpentine hair limp and lifeless. It was a relic from a time when gods and monsters roamed the earth, a symbol not only of his greatest hunt but of something more primal, his battle with the unknown. He had faced the supernatural and emerged victorious, earning a place in Yautja history for generations to come. For the Spartan Predator, the hunt would never truly end. There would always be new prey, new worlds to conquer, and new enemies to face. But this victory, this moment, would stand as the pinnacle of his existence, a challenge that tested not just his strength but his will and spirit. As his ship soared across the stars, leaving Earth behind, the legend of the Yautja, who faced the Gorgon, began to take shape. Among his kind, the tale would be told around hunting fires, whispered in awe and admiration. A story of a hunter who defied a force beyond comprehension, who faced not just flesh but myth, and who triumphed against an evil that even the gods themselves feared. And so, the legend of the Spartan Predator, the Yautja who hunted in the land of gods and monsters, would live on forever, etched into the very fabric of the stars. A story of blood, stone, and redemption, carried across the cosmos as one of the greatest hunts in Yautja lore.